South Africa have lost the tri-series by 3 runs to New Zealand. And I'm going to try and remain positive because I know that South African fans and fans in general are going to climb on this and say it's a choke, which I don't believe it was a choke. That's where I'm standing with regards to this. I think there are a lot of positive signs in this particular match. This is There are some players in this team that wouldn't be in the first 11. And I think that there were some positive signs from some players over here that can give us hope for the future. So I don't want us to get all riled up about it that we didn't win this match. We took New Zealand, a very good New Zealand side, till the end, and we chased and got close, and it was an impressive chase. And the reason why I'm impressed with it is because it wasn't stupid mistakes or silly mistakes that ended up losing this match for us. It was good fielding from New Zealand, and we had the right intent. That's the most important thing for me. Our intent was right. We didn't choke or crumble under the pressure. We tried to win it. We went all out and tried to win it. And I think that impressed me the most. But before we get going with today's show, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd love you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Smash the like button and comment and share as well. It's very important that you guys do so. And comment in the comment section after the video has ended. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that happened in the Tri-Series final between South Africa and New Zealand. So South Africa ended up losing the match by 3 runs, and it's a little bit of a hurtful one, and I can understand that because we got so close in the end. But I prefer losing this way. To be honest with you, I'll rather take it to the wire than us completely getting dominated in the final. Because when you get dominated in the final, there's so much you need to change. If you lose a final like this, just on the brink, the amount of experience that New Zealand has in their side as well, those players have been in these type of situations, and I think that it is a situation that we can be proud of the way we approached the chase. 180 was a hell of a lot to chase down today. Even though Lungingiri after the match said, "Oh no, that's a good score, whatever," and we were hoping for that, I think that it was a little bit too much. And I'll tell you why. Because I've got one criticism of today's performance, and that one criticism is our bowling. 19 extras. I'm sick of saying this on the show. Every single time we talk, we're talking about our bowlers and the amount of extras they bowl. 19 runs of extras, 6 leg byes, 13 wides is pathetic. That's as clear, plain and simple, it's pathetic. And we need to improve that. We need to get a lot more clinical with the ball when it comes to bowling. And whether we bowl first or at the end, because at the back end, that will be terrible. New Zealand was also not as great. They had 15 wides today and 1 leg by 16. 16 was the extras. I mean, sorry, I'm lying. That's ours. 16 was our extras. What am I talking about? Yes, New Zealand. That's New Zealand. 16 extras. So they weren't as clinical either, but they bowled well at the right times of the match. I think that we have to give credit where it's due when it comes to the fielding. There were some fantastic catches in the field today, and that they need to give credit for that, because I mean, Deva Brevis didn't choke. I think that was a brilliant catch, and if there was a cushion there, it probably was touching the rope, and if they had a magnifying glass to be able to see, he might have been touching the rope. That was a brilliant shot by Deva Brevis, and he got caught out on the ropes, and it was 31 of 16, 1, 4, and 3 sixes, a strike rate of 193. He was absolutely brilliant today, and he needs to get credit for coming into a situation like that and chasing it down and taking it to the wire. Yeah, I think in another situation he takes us over the line there. I think he has the chops to do it. But then George Linder also, a brilliant catch by Mitchell as well to dismiss George, and then it was going to be very difficult at that stage because you're losing your two informed batters that were at the crease already. So at that stage, New Zealand had it was New Zealand's to lose, I think, after those two wickets fell. And Henry, brilliant bowler, and it was a terrible shot though by Senator Mutasami. He either swung and he missed, but it could have gone either way. And I feel that as long as South Africa in these type of matches, in matches that are not World Cup games, of course, if they can continuously get themselves into situations like this where they have a chance to win the match and put themselves in the driving seat with this new young squad in these players, we are going to get over the line. And I believe in that. And I think that we need to get credit for the approach in the chase. There was some very attacking batting and impressive batting from our two youngsters. And that's what's making me still happy. And I feel that it would be wrong for us as a fan base to paint these now players now as chokers and put a negative spin on two youngsters that could be the future of South African cricket. Don't attach negativity to this loss, please, because it can derail careers. It can put their minds in difficult situations when they performed well today. So I don't want that to happen to these two players. I want to see them remain confident and continue going. The senior players disappointed me. Riza Hendricks, 37 of 31, losing his wicket cheaply. Rassie van der Dussen didn't do well again today, 18 of 17. They need to come to the party and they need to start stepping up and be more consistent now. At their age, they need to be more consistent with the bat. I know T20 is a difficult game to be consistent in, but they're going to have to find a way to do so if they want to keep their places in the team. But overall, the youngsters really impressed me, and I think that's where we need to focus our attention on, not on the loss. Focus your attention on the approach and the mentality that these players went out there with. That is where I am going to focus my attention on. I'm not going to be overly negative over here when it comes to this, and when it comes to this type of scenarios. If it was two senior players that were putting us in this position, and then we ended up losing the game, then I can understand your criticism of wanting to call them chokers and have a go at these players. But we relied on two youngsters today to win us this game. Tiava Brevis is a young talent that has never been put in this situation for the Proteas before. And I don't think that he deserves to be criticized by the masses here for the effort that he put in. Because if you're going to criticize the situation, then you're going to have to criticize him and George Linder in this particular scenario. George Linder is new to the T20 setup as well, and I don't feel it's fair to criticize him either in this type of situation. And I think that this is important that we stay positive and create a positive energy going towards the younger cricketers, the ones that put us in the position to win this match. That's what we need to take out of this win. I mean, out of this defeat. And then we criticize the bad parts of this game, which I have already. The bowling needs to be better. We can't be conceding 19 runs of extras, bowling wides and all over the place. We need to fix that because this has been happening now from a South African standpoint in white ball cricket for a while now. And it's senior bowlers that are experienced, maybe not for the Proteas, but they are experienced bowlers that are making mistakes like this. These are things that when it comes to bowling, it doesn't matter where you are and what pitch. A wide is a wide. That is something that you need to work out of your system. You can practice that out of your system to make sure that you don't bowl those type of things. And I think that was the big problem here today. I mean, Nandre bowled 3 wides, Quinn Mapaka 3 wides, Ngidi only bowled 1 at least. He was most economical, 2 for 24. I think he bowled really well today. I was surprised that they bowled him out so early. I thought that they would maybe keep him for final overs or a penultimate over and not bowl him out in the match. And that was a little bit of a concern. Senator Mutasami was okay, 1 for 27, but they were quite expensive, the bowlers today. And I think that I don't think New Zealand deserved 180 on the board. But 180 was always going to be very, very difficult to chase. And it was a little bit of bad luck towards the end of this chase that we ended up losing this match. So I am not overly angry about it. I'm not upset about it. And I want to take positives out of this because this is a mock final, World Cup final, you could say. It's an opportunity for us to see where we can improve. This is Coach Shukri's first proper final, proper series as a T20 coach. Let's see how his ideas go into this. I felt that There are lots of things that he still needs to put into the system here and help us improve, etc. So there's a different mentality in this team. You can see it. The approach of the chase for me was brilliant. We didn't see players trying to shift the responsibility and put someone else on strike and take it to the wire. Senior players, for example. So I like the fact that Deva Brevis took the responsibility. Luandre Pretorius took the responsibility on himself to go and score those runs. No shifting the responsibility to someone else in his team. And that's where I am happy about, what I'm happy about, because the signs from a batting standpoint, with the teams that we selected for that Australia series, I think we are starting to build a proper team that will be able to play against anybody. And the mentality is going to have to be there. And this is the start of it. It's the start of building that mentality. And I like it because was a final, and Luandre came to the party and Deva came to the party. Two youngsters. So that's where my focus is going to be on for this game. So that's my review. You can hate it or like it. I don't. Doesn't really matter. That's just my opinion. At the end of the day, Tala saying what a choke, and I don't believe it's a choke. I think that those two shots at the end of the could have easily gone to the boundary. It was brilliant catching from New Zealand in the field, and they kept their nerve. Daksha says if you have to learn choking, there is only one team in the world. We are smashing them, but in the end, you haven't had a quality player to finish. Rob is smiling today. What a shame. I don't think Rob is smiling at all. Daksh says pathetic, and even more pathetic performance for the Proteas today. I don't agree. Tala says Patal, I knew that until the last run he scored, there is no guarantee of a win. If only one can lose from winning positions, is us. Wow, what an embarrassment. That's not true. Many teams lose from winning positions. Many teams. Tara says, I thought it would be different under Coach Shooks, but guess what? It is different under him. The mentality, if you guys can't watch this match and see a difference in mentality when it came to the way we went about our chase, then I do not know what cricket you've been watching for the last 2-3 years. Because when the pressure was on with Rob's teams and Boucher's teams, responsibilities was shifted. The intent wasn't there right until the end. With this team today, I saw the intent right until the end. So maybe I'm tough and seeing things differently, but that's how I saw it today. And from younger players as well. I thought Ducks shares my main worry is White Ball Series track record of Proteas, but it's same for long. We have to also, you need to reset it. You can't just keep on, you can't just maintain it. You can't just say, oh, it's always been crap, so now it's going to continue being crap. You have to reset whenever a new coach comes in. That's what's going to need to happen over here. And we need to find ways to do that, guys, to look at things in isolation and criticize things in isolation and look at certain scenarios in isolation, separate them, because it's not the same under Coach Shooks as it will be under Rob Walter. It will be different. Good chase. This looks, Sarah says, good chase. This looked at a lot similar to the T20 World Cup final, except for the decent performance. Only concerning is the ability not to win matches from a winning position. Hope Shukri can sort that. Yes, that's something that he needs to improve on, and it's not going to happen overnight. You don't appoint a new coach and then poof, mentality changes. It doesn't work like that, guys. It takes time to build a winning mentality and a sort of thinking and a sort of approach to the game. You can't just wake up and decide that things are going to just change. So choking is not hereditary. You guys are making it seem like it's passed on from person to person. I mean, it doesn't work like that. So we have a whole new different bunch of players here. You can't be tagging them with the same tags as the other things. It's like putting a pep tag on a Truitt's clothing or on a G Star clothing or whatever, or Levi's, and then pricing it the same. You can't do that, even though they look the same. So we need to stop doing this. We need to try and be positive and reset. We can't just be negative every time we lose. You learn from losing. You learn from situations like this. We need to find ways on how to learn from our mistakes rather than beat ourselves up to the point that we don't believe in the team anymore. I mean, that's craziness. What type of, if we're gonna give that energy as fans, what do you expect the players are gonna feel? What do you think type of mentality they're gonna have? We have a role as fans as well to try and instill positivity into our and belief into our team. That they're playing for us. They're playing for us at the end of the day. So why would they want to play for fans that are not going to support them and not going to be behind them That's craziness. Why would you want to do that? I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, if you guys didn't support me here and you didn't come to my show and you didn't talk in the live chat and you didn't ask me to upload videos and interviews, etc., then what's the point? Why am I doing it then? It's not for me. It's so that I can also get you guys as close to the action as possible and get you guys information that maybe you don't have access to. So I'm not going to be sitting here and doing live shows if nobody's interested. Similarly to the Proteas, I would say, why should they turn up if the fans are going to be negative all the time every time they lose a match? Let's take positives out of this. We batted at a striker. We batted at 8.85. We had the right intent throughout this match, I feel. And yes, some of the older guys need to move on because they still play with the old mentality of slow batting, etc., not keeping that intensity. But when you have a youngster like Luandre that's exciting, that is batting at a strike rate of over 140, and he came out here with intention and intent to try and chase down. He wasn't scared by the 180. He wasn't like, oh, taken aback by the 180 on the board or 181 target. He went for it and he tried his best. And he ended up losing his wicket, yes, and then Deva took over. So there was a that is the positives we need to take out of this. Tala says same old habits of not killing the game when you can. I don't understand what Rassi was doing. Yes, that was a problem. That's why my frustrations lie with Rassi van der Dussen and Risa Hendricks today. Lost from 8 of 8. What a choke, man. When we are going to learn to gift games from winning positions. I thought Shukri mindset is different. I've spoken about this. I don't think this is a choke. A choke is not a. If you lost a close game, that's not a choke. I don't think that is a choke, especially when there was brilliance that was the cause of it. If they lost their wickets cheaply, right, trying to run a single or something stupid like that, or being nervous and trying and crumbling under the pressure, then I can say, okay, it's a choke. But they tried to go for it. They made the right decisions in the moment that just didn't come off because of brilliant fielding. Craig says, super proud of the boys. Clutch fielding from Bracewell and Mitchell won them the game in the final over. Similar to Sky in the World Cup final. Thank you. Best game of the series and fitting that it was the final. 100%. In my time cases, bowlers are never disciplined. Bowling coach should be bringing stick to smacking back. How could people training? Oh my lord. Sarfaz says Rassi really killed the game for SA as a captain. You should be leading from the front, and he can't even do that. You will not believe how pissed I am with Rassi. I expected he will silence the doubters. Tex says you can't lose for 8 from 8 with a set batters, Khalid. When we are going to learn to not gift games from winning positions, I really thought we won't choke anymore under Shukri. It will take time to grow that winning mentality. You can't expect it to happen overnight, guys. Come on, man. Be realistic here. Justin says Brevis leading run scorer for SA in the series, but I do think he should bat higher. I hope Shukri feels the same. Tex says we would deserve to win the game, and I wish we did, but with 180 on the board, I don't think we did, to be honest with you. I think it would have been a very good chase, obviously, and we did put that in to win this game. Tax says, Khalid, you can't say 180 was a hard score, but they are in dominant position of winning the match. You can't lose that way. 180 was a good score. I think it was a big score. We haven't seen a score like this throughout the series. So I think it was a decent score. And they batted well to get it. I think it was poor power play bowling from us. Same thing happened in the World Cup final, Khalid, gifting games to opposition on a platter. Better lose by 50 runs than this. I don't agree. Justin says, I don't see Rassi fitting in SA20. Craig says, both teams deserve to win, but New Zealand were the better team on the day. And during a tri series, they have more experienced team, and our youngsters gained great experience today. And that's how I'm going to be looking at it. Justin says, Herman literally threw his wicket away. Yeah, Herman. I'm not. Herman might have done that, but we weren't not in that crazy. We weren't in that position of a victory quite yet. The game we took the when the game was in a full-on winning position, when I'm like, yes, okay, we can win this match, was when Brevis and George Linder were at the crease. That's when I started believing we could win this match. And they took us very close. And how guys can you guys not admire the brilliant fielding by New Zealand in the field today? Those catches could easily have gone. That one from Deva Brevis could have easily been touching the rope. It was so unlucky that he was in the area, the one area of the rope where there was no cushion. Fulba says our finishers need to go through drills of what to do in the final overs chase instead of going for sixes. We should be trying to score fours. It's also difficult to score fours when when the ball is higher up. Matt Henry is what Matt Henry is known for. He did what Matt Henry is known for. Yes, he did. Justin says we need a bat at six, not all rounders. Craig says 100% with you, Harley. The team is on the right trajectory and they played positive cricket until the end. And that's very important because that's how you build winning teams. Brevis at 4 or 5, Daim. Wilbur says, I agree with you, Harley. Lots of positives. A bit of bad luck. This young group will learn from this, I am sure. And the players that disappointed me today are not in the main T20 side. So like Ruben Herman throwing his wicket away, but I'm not going to be too critical on him either. It's his first series. There's a lot of new players and new blood in this team. Daim says, Shukri Lords Bosch, but does he really have the power game in T20 eyes? We'll have to see. Craig says, sometimes you just need to sit back and say, what a game. That was entertaining and we can be proud no matter the result. Shooks wants them to take the result out of the picture. It's all about process. Dax says, we are a strong team to win in second innings today, but hard luck what you can expect for Australia tour. I want them to play with this type of mentality like they played in this final. Fight for every single game. Because that's how you build that mentality. You will lose, you might lose along the way, but you're going in the right direction. That's important. Only Fakes fans will call this a choke, says Wilbur. New Zealand fielded fantastically in the last over. Opposition teams are allowed to play well. We got a quality team, says Dean. Most of the guys playing across globe, well established and well experienced guys. The boys must stay focused and be positive. Real fans could call it a win. I don't think we call it a win now. I just think I wouldn't call it a choke. It's a loss. Tala says, Khalid, you are saying we should learn, but the thing is we are not learning. Since how long are we losing like this? You know better. We had to win this game to prove haters that we have changed. No, I don't. It's a different team. It's a different coach. It's a different mentality. I can see the shift in mentality and approach. So we can't be judging this the same like Rob's team. You just can't. It's apples and pears. James says, Rassi T20 days are over along with Riza. Bring on youngsters. They shone brightest today. Fly away, Toady says, don't call it a choke. Some amazing late fielding saved New Zealand, 100%. Taim says, I've been here. Dax says, why are not selecting Otniel Batman? I don't know what's wrong with Otniel Batman. Dean says, it's a gentleman's sport. Winning or losing, don't be so hard at the boys. Safa says, what's going on with Ruben, man? I get why Rassi went for a silly shot, given he ate too many dot balls, but why Ruben decided to play that shot when he was needed to build a partnership with David. I don't know what went through his mind there. Normally, when one wicket falls, another. We see this happen a lot in cricket. Khalid, we are 6th ranked in T20 as we needed to win this final. I'm very pissed at the moment. You can be pissed and you have the right to be pissed. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, bro. If you feel that we performed poorly in this match and you feel that we choked, etc., and you're pissed off, you are right to have the right to feel that way. I just feel differently about it, and I can't change the way I feel about this. Cosmic Seer says, can't believe SA lost this. Literally needed 7 in 6. Still, SA performed well with not so experienced team. On the other hand, New Zealand was fully experienced team. Inotanske says, Leandre Pretoria should start ahead of Rassi every game in Australia. Yeah. So, yeah, great show, guys. I have to go now because I have a movie booked and I need to leave. So I'm going to watch Fantastic Four and I'm really now starting to get excited about it. Hope that they're taking us into the right direction with MCU. So thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And go to the comment section after this video and leave a comment there as well. Dex says Riza has played his last game for the Proteas, good players, but never unlocked that level that was needed for the more age. Thanks, Riza. Craig says, thanks, enjoy the movie. It's very good. Shh, don't say anything. I don't want to hear anything. I didn't even look at spoilers. I didn't look at reviews. I don't even want to know if it's good or not. But thanks a lot, guys. And I'll see you guys very, very soon with another show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out.